It was 2017 at 2:30. A dad was teaching his son how to use a gun. Yes, buddy. That's it. Both hands on the gun. Just aim and pull. You got thick, Nicholas. Nicholas aimed at a target that his father set up. Nicholas pulled the trigger. He missed the target. Ack. That's so loud. And I missed, Nicholas said as he put down the gun and held his ears. I know, but it has to be loud. And it's okay. I missed the first time I shot a gun. You just have to try again, okay? Nicholas' dad said as he put his hand on Nicholas's shoulder. No, I don't want to do that again. It's too loud. You know my ears are sensitive, Nicholas said as he backed away from the gun. Nicholas's dad tried to think. You know, when I used to be out in the field, I would listen to my music with my very special earbuds. I would listen to my favorite music and shoot at the beat. It's helped me a lot when I was in combat. Nicholas's dad pulled out his special earbuds from his pocket and handed them to Nicholas. Nicholas put the earbuds in his ears. Just try again. One more time, Nicholas's dad said as he hands Nicholas the gun. Nicholas took the gun and held it with two hands. Here, I'm going to start up one of my favorite songs. Just shoot at the right beats, Nicholas's dad said as he got his phone out and get ready to start the music. What are the right beats? Nicholas asked as he is still a bit nervous. You'll know. You got this, bud, Nicholas's dad started the music. Nicholas was listening to the music. He got ready and aimed his gun at the target. Nicholas listened for the right beat. Once he heard the right beat, he started shooting. He shot a full bullseye. Yes. Look at you. You did it? Nicholas's dad said with such joy. Nicholas was speechless. Nicholas's dad ran over to Nicholas and gave him a hug. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I knew you could do it, Nicholas's dad gave Nicholas a loving kiss on the head. Nicholas was proud of himself for what happened. It was 8 o'clock at night at Nicholas's beautiful house. Nicholas and his dad sat on the couch with popcorn. They started up a movie. Suddenly, they heard the doorbell ring. Nicholas's dad quickly walked up to the door. He looked through the window to see who it was. He was suddenly in fear. He ran back over to Nicholas. Okay, buddy. Remember those drills that we do, just in case we are in danger? Well, we are going to be doing what we do in the drill. Okay. Nicholas's dad said, trying to bring as much comfort to Nicholas as possible. What's going on? Who are those people at the door? Nicholas asked, worried. Those men outside are not good people. I'm going to try to get them to leave, but I need to make sure you're safe. So remember how we do the drill. We get you to the hidden basement and have where you will stay safe. You get your gun and you make sure it's loaded. Got it? Nicholas's dad was trying to keep Nicholas calm, but he will not lie to his son. Dad, I'm scared, a teardrop drew down from Nicholas's eye. Nicholas's dad put both of his hands on both sides of Nicholas's cheeks. I know, bud. This is going to be scary. But I'm going to make sure you are safe. I promise, you are going to be okay. You ready? Nicholas's dad says as he held Nicholas's hand. Nicholas nodded. His dad guided him to the other side of the house where they opened the door of the secret basement. Okay, bud. This is where I leave you off. The gun is on the table down there. Get the gun and then hide, okay, bud? Nicholas's dad said. Nicholas grabs his dad's hand at the last moment. Dad, don't leave me. Don't go. Nicholas's heart was breaking. He didn't know if he was going to make it out of this. He gave his son one last loving hug. It's okay, buddy. I love you, Nicholas's dad let his son go. Nicholas ran down the basement floor. Nicholas's dad closed the basement door. Nicholas was worried. He quickly grabbed the gun on the table, loaded it and then found somewhere to hide. Nicholas's dad walked slowly towards the door with a gun. He gently opened the door. Suddenly two men pushed him back and pinned him to the wall. Then a man that almost looked exactly like Hitler walked in. He spoke in his German accent. "Mr. Darren. Good to see you again," the man said with greeting arms. "Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Walter," Nicholas's dad, Darren said as he struggled to break free from Mr. Walter's men. "Let him go," Mr. Walter ordered his two men. The two men let Darren go. "I am sorry for the inconvenience. And this might be inappropriate to ask, especially in front of your son. Speaking of which, where is your little boy?" Mr. Walter asked. "He's in bed. Now do you mind me asking what the hell do you want?" Darren was prepared for whatever is going to happen next. "I need you to kill someone for me," Mr. Walter said with a smirk. "I don't do that anymore. I retired," Darren said. "You were the best assassin in the world. So I ask you as a friend dash. We are not friends. You're a psychotic piece of shit. Plus you are a Nazi." "I even hate Nazis," Darren said with no fear. "Be careful of how you speak to me. Don't do this, Darren. Just do what I ask of you. Please," Mr. Walter asked for the last time. "If I came back to do this one job, I would do more jobs, and more, and more. No. I'm sorry but no," Darren said as he stood his ground. Mr. Walter did not take pleasure from that answer. "I'm disappointed in you, Mr. Darren. But if you are no use to me, then you are no use at all." Walter and his men walked out of the house and headed to their vehicle. Walter grabbed out a bazooka and shot Darren's house. Oh shit, Darren suddenly died from the bazooka. The whole house blew up. Walter did the Nazi salute. He took his leave in his vehicle. Nicholas opened the basement door. He found that house completely obliterated. He found his dad who was dead on the ground. Nicholas ran over to his father's side. "Dad. Dad, you okay? Dad. Dad." Once Nicholas realized that his father is dead, he cried into his dead father's arm. He looked ahead and saw Mr. Walter's vehicle driving away. He glared at the vehicle, swearing that he will kill him. Asterisk. It was April 10, 2023. Toby Winters held his knife and aimed it directly at the frogs. Gus Blue was bleeding on the ground. Toby didn't have much time. The terrorists were still on his trail. "Back away from him, now!" Toby yelled. He was ready for anything. "Hey man, just chill," said Josh. The frog slowly backed away. "Get out of here. Go." Toby yelled as he came closer to the frogs. The frogs ran away for their lives. Toby came to Gus's side. "Hey, bud. Are you okay?" Toby asked, trying to get Gus up. "I got to get you out of here." As soon as Toby said that, he got bashed in the head by one of the terrorists. Everything was blacked out. Toby opened his eyes. He found him and Gus tied up in chairs. "Hey. Hey you." Toby said, trying to get Gus's attention. Gus woke up. "Wow. Where the hell are we? Who are you?" Gus asked. "I don't know where we are. And my name is Toby." "What's your name?" Toby asked. "I'm Gus," said Gus. "Well, Gus. We have to get out of here," Toby said as he was trying to look for something to help him escape. He then saw a knife and gun on a table not too far from Gus. "Okay, here's that plan. I'm going to need you to scoot your chair to that table and grab that dash," Toby interrupted. Mr. Walter walked into the room. "Hello you two," Mr. Walter said as he walked in front of them. "Who are you?" "You're not a communist terrorist," Toby said. "No, I am not. But I paid them a lot of money just to hand you two over," said Mr. Walter. Oh yeah? How much? Gus asked. $16,000, said Mr. Walter. What? That's insane. Who are you? Hitler. Toby asked. Do I look like Hitler to you? Mr. Walter asked. Yes, said Gus. Well, I can't deny that isn't the point. See, that is my big plan. See, Adolf Hitler was an admirable man. He did great things for our country. It was only until World War II that drove him to put a bullet in his head. We need more people like him. So that's why I will take the mantle. That is my big plan. I will become the new Hitler, Mr. Walter exclaimed with an evil grin. You are such a sick fuck, Toby said. Toby spitted right at Mr. Walter's face. Mr. Walter slowly wiped off the spit, not impressed. You know, you should show me some more respect. I take you to one of my very own clubs and this is how you thank me. Guess you won't have a fun time dancing then. Well, I guess we can give you what you're asking for. Mr. Walter pulled out a taser. Pain, Mr. Walter tossed Toby's leg. Ah! Toby screamed. You son of a bitch. Leave him alone. Gus yelled at Mr. Walter. Mr. Walter then tossed Gus's shoulder. Fuck. Gus yelled in pain. Asterisk. 6 years after his father died and 4 years since he started his plan of assassination, Nicholas arrived at the club. He wore a very special tuxedo. He walked into the elevator that would take him to the dance floor. Once he arrived at the dance floor, he walked next to a servant of Mr. Walter to blend in. 2 other servants walked up to Nicholas and the servant next to him. Identify yourself, one of the servants in front of Nicholas ordered. Hans, said the servant next to Nicholas. Nicholas, said Nicholas. The servant next to him realized his name. Wait, we don't know a Nicholas, the servant said. Suddenly, Nicholas pulled out a knife and stabbed the servant's mouth. The 2 servants in front of Nicholas pulled out their guns. Nicholas pulled out his pistol. He shot both of the servants down. Once the servants fell to the ground, Nicholas shot them both in the head. He quickly put his father's earbuds on and listened to one of his father's favorite songs. More servants with guns came running at Nicholas. Nicholas shot them down at every single beat of the song he was listening to. As he moved through the dance floor, he battled the servants at the dance floor. Bang, bang. It only took 2 shots for Nicholas to kill a servant. One servant got up close to Nicholas with a pistol. Nicholas quickly stole the slide off of the pistol and jabbed it into the servant's chest. After he jabbed it in for a couple of times, he put the slide back on the pistol, stole the pistol, and then shot the servant down. Another servant came to Nicholas with a shotgun. Nicholas found a service plate on the ground and quickly threw it at the servant, slicing the servant's head in half. Nicholas picked up the shotgun and blasted his way through the servants. Bang, reload, bang, reload. Nicholas used about 50 shells. Suddenly, a servant attempted to shoot Nicholas in the back. But little did the servant know that Nicholas's tuxedo was bulletproof. Nicholas quickly turned around and blasted the servant's head into smithereens. Nicholas continued his mission to get to Mr. Walter. Sir. One of the servants said as he barged into the room where Mr. Walter was torturing Toby and Gus. What is it? I am in the middle of something. Mr. Walter said. It's him. He's here, the servant said with fear. Who? If it's Trump then you don't need to fear so much. He's on our side, said Mr. Walter. No. It's him, said the servant. Mr. Walter then realized what he meant by that. He was filled with fear. He quickly walked out of the room to see what was going on. He saw people screaming and running out of the club, and Nicholas painting the room with his servant's blood. Skies, Mr. Walter ran back into the room and barricaded the door. What's going on? Toby asked. Nothing you need to know. Now please, for you and your friend's own mercy, Walter put a knife to Toby's throat. Don't say a fucking word, said Walter. Nicholas continued to blast his way through every servant that came at him. Nicholas finally got to the door of the room Mr. Walter, Toby, and Gus were in. Nicholas couldn't open the door. He searched for another way in. Mr. Walter was scared, but he was prepared for anything. He still holds the knife to Toby's neck. Suddenly, Nicholas's pistol was right up against Mr. Walter's head. "Hi Walter," Nicholas said with a smile. Mr. Walter slowly moved back from Toby and Gus while Nicholas still had his gun on him. "Good to see you, Nicholas. I see you managed to get yourself in here," said Mr. Walter. "It wasn't hard. You probably should have had something covering the vent in the ceiling." "How have you been?" asked Nicholas. "Good. How about you, Nicholas? You are so much bigger since the last time I saw you," said Mr. Walter. "Yeah. I was 8 when you last saw me. And then I was 12 when you blew up my house and killed my father. But I'm doing good for the most part," Nicholas said as he was ready to pull the trigger. "Your father was a messed up man. But I am even more fucked up." Mr. Walter whacked the gun out of Nicholas's hand and kicked him back. Nicholas punched Mr. Walter in the throat. Nicholas saw the knife on the table near Gus. He quickly got the knife and threw it at Mr. Walter's hand, pinning him to the wall. Mr. Walter screamed in pain. Nicholas grabbed his gun from the floor. "Come on, Nicholas. We can talk this out," Mr. Walter said. Nicholas aimed the gun at Mr. Walter's face. "You killed my father. So now you are going to get what's coming to you," Nicholas said. "I have friends. If you kill me, you will be a target to them. They will hunt you down, Nicholas," said Mr. Walter. "Let them hunt me down. I'll be waiting, and I'll be ready. But I'm going to be following a new name now. Bloodshot," Nicholas, or also known as Bloodshot, said as he shot Mr. Walter in the eye. Walter's dead body hung from where his hand was still pinned with the knife. Bloodshot turned around and saw Toby and Gus, tied up in the chairs. He pulled the knife out of Walter's dead hands. He walked over to Toby and Gus and set them free. "Get out of here. And don't speak about this with anyone," Bloodshot said as he walked away.